Genetic modifications is the one of controversial area in science. Genetic modifications is the process of altering the genetic makeup of an organism. This has been done indirectly for thousands of years by controlled or selective breeding of plant and animals. Modern biotechnology has made it easier and faster to target a specific gene for more precise alteration of the organism through genetic engineering. In the field of biotechnology, GMO stands for genetically modified organisms, while in the food industry, the term refers exclusively to foods that has been purposely engineered and not selectively breeding organisms. Today, in our nature, GMO technologies are widely used for food industry for support the need of human for foods. However, there were several ethical issues that raised from genetic modification in food industries, which are GMO foods are harmful to human health, especially to people who have allergy for some protein or ingredient in foods. This usually happens from gene editing technologies, which are gene editing can create new allergen in the food supply. Transgenic crops may introduce new allergen into foods that sensitive people are unaware of. Transferring the gene for one of the several allergenic proteins found in meals to plants such as carrot is one example. It might be dangerous to individuals who are sensitive to allergenic protein. And there are also another controversies around GM foods on several levels, including whether food produced with it is safe, whether another agriculture biotechnology and it is needed to address world hunger now or in the future, and more specifically with respect to intellectual property and market dynamics, and then environmental effects of GM crops and GM crop role in industrial agriculture more generally. Gene editing technologies may have the potential to create plants that are genetically changed in detrimental ways, either in terms of plant effects or in terms of individuals who consume the plant's product. While various risk scenarios involving GMOs has already been identified, such as antibiotic-resistant infections, synthetic biology, or the mixing of non-GMO seeds with GMO. The ability to deliberately infect plants with illness would pose major health risks to humans and animals, have negative economic effects, and put the food supply at risk. The ability to actively inflict disease on plants would pose serious health hazards to both humans and animals, have detrimental consequences to the economy, and directly threaten the food supply. However, because there was the potential to offer large benefit to developing nations, which are better nutrition, increased pest resistance, increased yield, and new products, there was an ethical need to properly study these potential benefits in order to contribute to poverty reductions, improve food security, and profitable agriculture in developing countries. The positive implication of genetic modification in food industry is genetic modification foods can allow for reduction in food price through improved yield and reliability. Then, genetic modification could be aimed at altering the nutrient content of food, reducing its allergenic potential, or improving the efficiency of food production system. Other than that, it can increase attractiveness to consumer, for example, apple and potatoes that are less likely to bruise or turn brown. And lastly, genetic modification can exchange flavor. Genetic modification foods also have negative effects, such as there is a small risk that GMO food can trigger an allergic reactions, but this will only happen if the genetic change trigger the production of an allergen. Then, there have been concerns that eating GMO food can contribute to the development of cancer by raising level of potentially carcinogenic substance in the body. Lastly, the risk of outcrossing where genes from GMO foods pass into wild plant and other crops, so it might be a negative impact on insect and other species. I choose this ethical issue which is GMO foods can harm to human health because it closely related to our life and culture today. We can see mostly of our food is from the GMO food sources. An example like brown rice, potatoes and carrots. In my opinion, GMO foods have a lot of benefit for our life because can increase supply of foods with reduced cost and longer shelf life. GMO foods are likely to become a crucial tool in feeding the world's growing population, especially in areas with harsh climate because GMO foods are faster growing than hybrid foods and more tasty. Moreover, GM foods are also useful in controlling the occurrence of certain diseases. By modifying the DNA system of these foods, the properties causing allergies are eliminated successfully. These foods grow faster than the foods that are grown traditionally. Probably because of this, the increased productivity provides the population with more foods. Lastly, their cost of production is reported to be less than the traditional crops due to the natural resistance towards pests and insects. This reduces the necessity of exposing the GM crops to harmful pesticle and exticle, making these foods free from chemical and environment friendly as well. From this assignment, I can learn about genetic modification as surrounding in our life and also have benefit, especially in food industry, which is genetic modification foods can support the needed of food supply over the large population of humans. That's all from me. Thank you.